This is the perfect way to welcome people in. It's comfortable.
We wanted something that felt warm, something that feels like places we traveled around the world and, with this view.
Love happens in the most unexpected places and plants roots in the most unpredictable situations. The love story of Alicia Keys and the famous hip-hop producer Swizz Beatz came to light unexpectedly and almost ruined Alicia's musical career. Nonetheless, as the famous quote says, "Love conquers all. They emerge victorious and live happily." How did this happen? Join us as we unveil their love story and children's lives today. First meeting. Alicia Keys gave a real insight into her life and her marriage to Swizz Beatz in her 2020 memoirs, More Myself. She disclosed in her memoir that she met her husband when he was 16 and she was about 14. They had a mutual friend who insisted that she meet him, and they eventually met outside a local high school in the Bronx. Keys said that she initially rebuffed his invitation to connect more. "We talked for a minute about nothing deep, and then, as I walked off, he asked if we could exchange numbers," Keys wrote. "I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll just see you when I see you." It was clear that, at the time, Alicia had no interest in pursuing a friendship with the young boy. Years later, in 1998, Keys said they kept ending up in the same circles at various award shows and industry events after Swizz Beatz created the beat for DMX's famous Rough Riders anthem. This seemed to have been the lubricant to the otherwise squeaky friendship between the two. They eventually worked on some songs together, which Keys said she initially did not enjoy because he was totally irritating. According to Today magazine, Keys revealed later that she reluctantly agreed to lunch, which Swizz Beatz was late to. He brought her a pair of sunglasses in a bag decorated with a piece of art that Keys liked. He also gifted her with a painting of a piano with paintbrushes on the keys, and he attached it to her car while she was in the restaurant waiting on him. According to Alicia Keys, "When I saw this, it seemed like the perfect representation of our friendship. You're the keys, I'm the brushes." When he'd purchased it from a street vendor a few days earlier, he explained, he'd planned to give it to me, but to prop it up on my car roof, he had to arrive at the restaurant after me, so my car would already be there. It was such a nice gesture. Over time, there was more back and forth, but the two finally found love within the union. They married in 2010 under a compromise they reached when Keys said she had never seen herself getting married. "We'd marry the old-fashioned way, but we'd put our spin on the vows," Keys disclosed in her memoir. "We finally announced our engagement. We also shared news of the pregnancy when I was about 4 months along, and the public declaration seemed to cause my stomach to pop. We planned an intimate ceremony in Corsica, France, near the end of July." The couple seemed to be the industry's power couple for a while, but that reputation was short-lived. A complicated past laid on the path before the coming together of Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz, and this somewhat tainted Alicia's beloved reputation. A Case of Infidelity. Before Swizz Beatz and Alicia Keys became a couple, he was married to a woman named Mashonda Tifrera. Swizz and Tifrera, a former singer, married in 2004 and gave birth to Kasim Dean Jr. Interestingly enough, Swizz welcomed a daughter, Nicole, with European singer Jonna Sebastian in 2008, while he was still married to Tifrera. However, it wasn't until his relationship with Keys became public that the cheating rumors came to the world's knowledge. Beatz and Keys began dating sometime in late 2008, the same year he welcomed his daughter. Despite Beatz maintaining that he was a separated man, Tifrera long accused both Beatz and Keys of having an affair and being the reason for the end of what she otherwise thought was a happy marriage with its usual ups and downs. Tifrera famously tweeted an open letter to Keys in September 2009 while her divorce was ongoing. The tweet read, "If you are reading this, Alicia, let me start by saying you know what you did. You know the role you played and how you contributed to ending my marriage." People worldwide who first respected Alicia for being a girl's girl took back their support as she was labeled a husband snatcher. However, Tifrera and Beatz finally settled their divorce in 2010, with Keys and Beatz marrying that same year and welcoming 2 children. While things were likely icy between the women at first, as time progressed, the relationship between Tifrera and Keys began to soften at the edges, with each woman seeing a friend in the other. The moment both ladies first decided to try to bury the hatchet Mashonda admitted that the conversation was more about her voicing her concerns, and all Alicia did was Keys listen. According to List magazine, another dinner took place in 2012, which Tifrere admitted to People was awkward. However, it did pave the way for more in-depth chats, and they eventually developed a true friendship. It's larger than friendship. There's a sisterhood. We have tea and girl talk. She wants to know who I'm dating. It's really cute, Tifrere shared with the outlet in October 2018 following the release of her book, Blend: The Secret to Co-Parenting and Creating a Balanced Family. Alicia Keys feels the same way about Tifrere, giving her account of their relationship in a chat with Good Morning America alongside Beatz and Tifrere in October 2018. "We love each other. I mean, we hang out with each other," the Girl on Fire singer revealed. "We go to dinner together. We're doing Thanksgiving. We're doing the holiday." This friendship is beautiful to witness, considering the children and how much enmity would have affected them deeply. Let's briefly explore this Hollywood power couple's early lives and what led to their outstanding careers. The making of the R&B star. Alicia Augello Cook was born in Manhattan's Hell's Kitchen neighborhood on the 25th of January, 1981. She is the only child of Teresa Augello, a paralegal and part-time actress, and one of 3 children of Craig Cook, a flight attendant. Keys' father is African American, and her mother is of Italian and Irish or Scottish descent. Her mother's paternal grandparents were immigrants from Siaca, Sicily, and Lamezia Terme in Calabria. Named after her Puerto Rican godmother, Keys said she was comfortable with her multiracial heritage because she felt she could relate to different cultures. Keys' father left when she was 2 years old. Her mother raised her at Manhattan Plaza in Hell's Kitchen during her formative years. Keys has stated that her parents never had a relationship, and her father was not in her life. Although she did not like to speak about her father to not feed stereotypes, Keys revealed in 2001, "I'm not in contact with him. That's fine. When I was younger, I minded about that. It made me angry, but it helped show me what a strong woman my mother was and made me want to be strong like her. Probably it was better for me this way." Keys and her mother lived in a 1-bedroom apartment. Her mother often worked 3 jobs to provide for Keys, who learned how to survive from her mother's example of self-reliance. From a young age, Keys struggled with self-esteem issues, hiding little by little when her differences made her vulnerable to judgment and later uninvited attention. Living in the rough neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen, she was, from an early age, regularly exposed to an unhealthy atmosphere. Her experiences in the streets had led her to carry a homemade knife for protection. She became very wary and emotionally guarded, and she began wearing gender-neutral clothing and what later became her trademark cornrows. Keys explained that she is grateful for growing up where she did, as it prepared her for the parallels in the music industry, particularly as a teenager. She could maintain a particular focus and not derail herself. She credits her tough mother for anchoring her on the right path as opposed to many people she knew who ended up on the wrong path and in jail. Keys attributed her unusual maturity as a young girl to her mother, who depended on her to be responsible. At the same time, she worked to provide for them and gave Keys as many opportunities as possible. Keys loved music and singing from early childhood. She recalled her mother playing jazz records of artists such as Thelonious Monk, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, and Louis Armstrong on Sunday mornings, as well as early musical moments. Keys considers influential in kindling her interest in and emotional connection to music. In preschool, she sang in her school's production of the musical Cats and was cast as Dorothy Gale in a production of The Wizard of Oz. Keys discovered that she had a passion for the piano by age 6. She loved the sound and feel of the instrument and desired to play and learn it. When she was 10, a neighborhood friend who was moving home gave her family an old upright piano. This proved pivotal for her musical development, allowing her to practice, play, and fully benefit from music lessons at an early age. Keys began receiving classical piano training by age 7, practicing 6 hours daily, learning the Suzuki method, and playing composers such as Beethoven, Mozart, Chopin, and Satie. She was particularly drawn to blue, dark, shadowy, and melancholic compositions, and the passionate romanticism of blue composers like Chopin. Inspired by the film Philadelphia, Keys wrote her first song about her departed grandfather on her piano at 11. The scene in the film in which Tom Hanks's character listens to opera on a record player notably affected Keys, who never showed emotion very well. After seeing the film, Keys could express her feelings through the music. Classical piano helped me be a better songwriter and musician. I knew the fundamentals of music, and I understood how to put things together, pull it together, and change it. The dedication it took to study classical music is a big reason I have anything in this life. It was a big influence on me. It opened a lot of doors because it separated me from the rest, and it did help me structure my songs. Keys enrolled in the Professional Performing Arts School at the age of 12, where she took music, dance, and theater classes and majored in choir. In her pre-teen years, she and her bass-playing friend formed their first group, though neither knew too much about how pop songs worked. She continued singing, writing songs, and performing in musical groups throughout junior high and high school. She became an accomplished pianist. According to some sources, she began studying jazz after her classical music teacher had nothing left to teach her. Keys had already been discovering other genres of music, including soul music, hip-hop, and rhythm and blues, and had taken an affinity to artists like Marvin Gaye and Curtis Mayfield. She continued developing her songwriting and finding her sound by exploring different music. She spent more time in Harlem during her teenage years. The town contributed a lot to her character development. "Harlem raised me in a lot of ways," Keys remarked. "It taught me how to think fast and play the game. It also taught me leadership, how to get out of bad situations when you need to, and how to hold my own." Experience and hard work have cultivated Alicia's musical talent into something more elevated. Having known about Alicia Keys, let's explore Swizz Beatz' life. Award-winning music producer, Swizz Beatz. Kasim Dawood Dean was born on the 13th of September 1978. He is known professionally as Swizz Beatz and is an American record producer, rapper, and DJ. Born and raised in the Bronx borough of New York City, Dean began his musical career as a DJ. At 18, he gained recognition in the music industry through his family's record label, Rough Riders Entertainment, and his affiliation with its flagship artist, Yonkers-based rapper DMX. Working with DMX as his producer, DJ, and hype man helped Dean gain prominence as a high-profile figure in hip-hop in the following years. He spent much of his childhood raised by his mother in the Northeast Bronx, where he first encountered hip-hop. After obtaining the necessary equipment from his stepfather and uncles, he began DJing as a teenager and enjoyed success. After relocating to Atlanta, Georgia, due to his repeated involvement in violent behavior at Harry S. Truman High School, he started to work for his uncles Wah and D, who were co-CEOs of the Rough Riders record label. In his early work, he generally chose not to sample, instead using the Korg Trinity and Triton keyboards, and seeking to accentuate the performance aspect of his music. With his uncles Wah, D. Dean, and his aunt Siobhan Dean all involved with the Rough Riders record label, Swizz Beatz began producing tracks at age 16 and was signed to Rough Riders Productions as a producer and songwriter. A year later, he sold his first beat to Rough Riders artist DMX, which became his chart-topping single, Rough Riders Anthem. The song was placed onto DMX's seminal 1998 debut album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. In 2000, in a joint venture with Clive Davis, Swizz Beatz established his record label, Full Surface Records, which became a subsidiary of J Records. The first artist signed was Philadelphia-based rapper Cassidy. When Dean released his first compilation album, Swizz Beatz Presents Ghetto Stories. In 2002, he was noticed for his production style and interesting ideas, as well as his protege and artist Cassidy, who also started to gain recognition. The same year, Dean released two singles, Guilty and Bigger Business, which charted on the Billboard Hot Rhythm and Blues and Hip Hop Songs chart. On the 19th of October 2007, he launched a contest called Share the Studio, presented by Music Video 2.0 and The Source magazine. The contest was intended to continue the work from his debut album. Later that same year, Dean signed former Rough Riders cohorts and longtime friends Dragon and Eve to Full Surface Records. In a December 2007 interview with Format magazine, Dean stated that he was already working on his second studio album, Under Life After the Party. In late 2007, in an interview with Format magazine, he announced the title of his sophomore album as Life After the Party, saying, "The opportunities that I've got from doing my album, One Man Band Man, are much bigger than just producing. Many things came from being able to put a voice to my face. It was me expressing myself and having the opportunity to do so. It was a one-man band, and now I'm doing part 2, Life After the Party. Dean's third album in the works had been renamed on 3 occasions. Initially, the album was renamed King Issues and was later retitled The Perception of Greatness. After initially turning to fans to help decide on an album title, Dean eventually announced in August 2010, while in a New York City recording session with Mary J. Blige, that the title would be Haute Living, as it's the perfect phrase to state what he's all about. His first Grammy Award came in 2011, awarded in the category of Best Rap Performance by a duo or group for a track titled On to the Next One, teaming him with Jay-Z. The first promotional single from Haute Living, titled Everyday Coolin', features a verse from Eve, produced by Joe Lindsay, and released through MonsterMondays.com on March 28, 2011. In an April interview with Paper Mag, Dean revealed that a few yet-to-be-released special collaborations would appear on the album, including one titled Skyscrapers, featuring Kanye West and Bono. We got this song, it's me, Bono, and Kanye, on this song called Skyscrapers. I recorded with Kanye in the studio, and then I recorded with Bono in this actual studio right here. Mary J. Blige is on the album John Legend too, but they're all on the album in super amazing ways. It's not like a compilation. It's a nice mixture of creativity. I had no boundaries with it. I had great partners on the album. Reebok was supporting me. In May 2011, during an interview with British Broadcasting Corporation, Radio 1 Extra's DJ Semtex, Swizz Beatz announced that his upcoming third solo album, Haute Living, would be released on his birthday, the 13th of September that same year. However, in July, Swizz Beatz said instead of releasing all of the songs at once, he would release the tracks over an extended period. Let me clarify, Haute Living is still coming, but as for releasing all on one day, I'm not doing that no more, he said. I want to drop singles from Haute Living instead of I'm coming on September 13. I'm like, you know what? Let me make every song an event instead of just that one day being an event. Dean and Timbaland launched the highly popular Verzuz Instagram webcast series in March 2020. The following year, for their work on Verzuz, they both appeared on Time 100, Time's annual list of the highest and most influential people. That same year, Dean became a series music producer for the American Broadcasting Company television show Queens, starring Brandy, Eve, Naturi Naughton, and Nadine Velasquez. Queens premiered on the 19th of October 2021, and Dean hosted the car culture television show Drive with Swizz Beatz on Hulu 2 years later. Swizz Beatz has a career that up-and-coming producers and artists look into for tips on growing a success story. Now let's unveil his marital journey with Alicia Keys and how they've managed to keep it going. The keys to a happy marriage. Alicia Keys and her husband, Swizz Beatz, have claimed to have cracked the code to a successful marriage, and just like you, everyone else is curious about what these keys to a happy marriage are. She could not possibly mean piano keys. In the latest edition of WSJ Magazine for its Monday morning series, the Girl on Fire crooner disclosed that really carving out the time for each other made their marriage much better. There's so much to balance. There's so much to do, she continued. And you find yourself running and doing the things for school, for the kids, and doing all the things for your lists, for all the dreams you have in your career, and what you have to do next. Keys added, that time together with you and your partner is priceless. And to carve out that time and make it as important as those daily things, I think it pours back into the relationship. You remember why you are in love, why you just like each other, what's interesting about each other. No truer words have been said about the keys to a beautiful marriage, and there is no doubt that these keys are an active practice within the Beatz and Keys household, because the couple disclosed that they never raised their voices at each other in an argument. The love story of Alicia and Swizz was taken right out of the African-American industry fairy tale. Although it has had its fair share of drama in the early stages, it has become a union that does not do too much to express the peace and love within. With such a beautiful love story, how about their children's lives? Their children. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz are proud parents to 5 children. 3 of them are Swizz's children, who are out of his marriage to Alicia. Prince Nasser Dean is Alicia's eldest stepchild. He was welcomed by Swizz and his ex, Nicole Levy, in October 2000. He has shown interest in the music business and performs under the stage name Note Marcato. He went viral in 2000 when he wore a full face of skeleton face paint while sitting in the audience at the Grammy Awards. According to TMZ, Prince is also pursuing an acting career and was cast in the film Charge It to the Game, alongside Snoop Dogg's son, Julian Broadus, and Dr. Dre's son, Curtis Young. He has also been featured on his dad's series, Drive, which premiered in 2023. Kasem Dean Jr., also called KJ, is Alicia's second oldest stepchild and Swizz's second oldest son. He welcomed him with his ex-wife, Mashonda Tifrere, in December 2006. Mashonda disclosed her interest in knowing Alicia Keys to People magazine because her son kept saying good things about the music artist. Kasem is reportedly a great athlete. According to US Weekly, he was involved with his high school's track and field and won on the high jump at a freshman-sophomore invitational as a freshman in April 2022. In a video shared by Swizz, Kasem admitted to running the fastest 300-meter hurdles time in his school's history. The couple's third child is Nicole Dean, Alicia's only stepdaughter and Swizz's oldest daughter. Swizz welcomed her in May 2008 with his ex-girlfriend, Jana Sebastian. Nicole is known for joining Swizz at various public events, including sports games, like the Brooklyn Nets games, and special events, like the 2017 launch of his Bali X Swizz Beatz collection in London, England. Egypt Dawood Dean is Alicia and Swizz's son. They welcomed him in October 2010, the same year they were married. Egypt, like his older brother, has developed an interest in music. When he was 6, he wrote his first song, Superboy, in 2016. He received a producer credit on Kendrick Lamar's album that same year. Egypt made his stage debut alongside Alicia at the 2019 iHeartRadio Music Awards. They sang a duet to the 2019 song, Raise a Man. In 2021, he recorded his first song with his mom. They teamed up for the song, Somewhere Over the Rainbow from Alicia's Sweet Dreams EP. Despite Egypt's interest and talent in music, he has admitted that he doesn't want to have the same career as his parents. Well, I love music but don't want to be a musician. I want to be a basketball player, he said on The Jennifer Hudson Show in April 2023. It's fun because I like playing stuff, so when I hear it and I'm like, oh, I want to play something, then boom, it's on the piano.
Now, Egypt, I hear you're into music, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Alicia, how does it make you feel having a son that's producing and releasing music?
Yeah, it's really awesome. He plays.
Genesis Ali Dean is Alicia and Swizz's youngest son. The young music child was welcomed in December 2014. In Alicia's 2020 memoirs, More Myself, Alicia disclosed that her pregnancy with him was a surprise. He has also joined his mom on stage and kept her company while she went on tour. Alicia has also revealed that Genesis is a big Taylor Swift fan. He has met the singer several times and even received a handwritten note from her. Seeing the gift of music float through Alicia and Swizz's children is beautiful. It seems to be a family heirloom that has passed down every child in little ways. What are your thoughts on Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz' marriage, and how they have passed the hurdles and properly raised their children? Share your opinions in the comments section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Before you go, click the links on your screen for more videos.